Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, November 18th. And we're looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and QQQs. And boy, for lack of a better word, a pretty exciting day, even though we only have 48 million shares on the tape. An absolutely wacky first 5 time frames, only to basically trade sideways back and forth through the opening all afternoon until we decide to make a new high in the last couple of minutes of the trading day. Triple Qs, new all-time high, go out with a price probe. So they tried to hold the trend day, they didn't. They end up with an afternoon pullback low in K, price probe high and low. Russell, very interesting for Russell. Again, they dipped inside of March's range, which is that 8-month balance. They closed above it. They end 10 wide. The good news is it's pretty much 2 B shapes in a row. So we're hoping that it's just we're hoping for longs, that it's just long liquidation, weak longs getting out. And maybe now they stay above March's high and springboard back to their high. They're almost $10 off their all-time high now. As far as us, we never get to last week's high, but what an interesting day. We open higher value, only to rip down, right? And we take out the day's high from yesterday, rip down and B to take out the day's low. Remember, we had an inside day yesterday. So we had an inside day up that failed. Then we had an inside day down that ripped, that failed. And guess what? We end not only with an inside day up that I guess you can say was successful, although most of it happened late, we have an outside day up. So that's very positive going into expiration. The inside week up so far has been a miserable failure, right? We're below it again. I had a good day, didn't do anything after E, wanted to get long in G or K, never pulled back to where I wanted it, but had a tremendously gratifying trade in E period. So first, what did we do early? So I bought a call, the 467.50 calls in A, when A traded down to POC. I got paid on it actually the first time, went back up. It wasn't a big one, but I got paid. Then B period. I did not take the break when B took A's low out, but I certainly, as B went down and he pushed up, scalped the 469 puts a bunch of times. I did that in B. I did that in C. Value went from higher to overlapping to higher to unchanged to overlapping to lower, and we close overlapping to higher. Mind-numbing the way value moved today. So I scalped a bunch of shorts in B and C. Did very well with those. Then things started getting a little interesting. I still did it in D one time. I said if we take out C's high, I'm not doing anything. I think we'll fill the single prints. But B high was my line in the sand. I thought we had a highest accepted price because when A opened, B opened, went down. We went up about 20 cents, but we were holding below M's high and the afternoon rally high from the previous day. I'm like, that's my line in the sand. If we can't get back above B, we should rotate back down. I didn't think we were going to have an outside day down or up. I thought after single prints ended up filling, we would trade inside of yesterday. So I didn't do anything in D. E started, took out D's high. I took a 20 put play in E. I added 20 in E. So I had 40 puts and was getting hurt. And when E started really popping, like something changed. So right after they took out B's high, I took the puts off for a loss of the 470s, and then I bought 200 of the 467.50 calls. And as soon as I bought them, it continued. We stalled around the day's high. I was taking some off. I'm like, well, we haven't taken out the IB high yet, and we had already taken out the overnight low. I'm like, I'm not going to play hero in case they fail here, but I didn't think they would. So they went up, was taking some off, came in, put some more back on, and all of a sudden we popped A's high and boom, exploded. So that turned out to be a really, really great trade that I had. I had 15 left when G opened. It was trading around there. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if these single prints hold. Why? Because we were up at a very visual area, which was last week's high again. So I didn't think it was going to get it. Took them off. I bought those 200 calls, the 467.50s at $2.09, and sold them out for between $240 and $270 something. 200 of them. How mechanical was this market? Well, look at today's low. Now, when we were free falling, I said I'm going to look for a long against the poor low and the single prints. Not because I think the market's okay, but I think it should, because I think we're trading against short-term traders, get a responsive bounce. Well, exacting kills. I had 50 calls lined up, didn't get within 12 cents of the poor low, I didn't pull it, and boom, B popped up like 40, 50 cents in a heartbeat. So that's a play I missed. That's okay, though. Then, after I got out of those calls, we traded sideways. There was nothing interesting. I'm like, I want the market to pull back if we fill the singles, which it did. I never got far enough for me. What I should have realized is, since B is where change took place, I was looking more around half back, value low. But since B is where change took place, buyers didn't want to get too much acceptance back into there. I did try to start a small one at K's low, didn't get it. And then you see what happened, and we probed and went out higher. It turned out to be a very good, excellent day, though. As far as destinations, there's only 3 destinations to the upside. 470.01 today's high, 470.49 daily high, 470.65 weekly high, all-time high. So all 3 of our highs are within 64 cents of each other. That's a firecracker effect waiting to happen. And if it does happen, a lot can happen. That would mean we come out of an inside week. Again, if we do it tomorrow, inside week up for another chance, firecracker effect, and a vacuum above us. We'll see if they can do that tomorrow and what we get. For the downside, afternoon pullback low. We only got 8 wide. I won't count that. 8, but I won't ignore it tomorrow. I'm not using the price probe because it was only 4 cents, so it's kind of useless. 468.64, K's low afternoon pullback, and then nothing until today's low, 466.34, and then yesterday's poor low, 466.23. So believe it or not, as impressive as this is, if buyers don't get a follow through tomorrow, there's nothing below this afternoon pullback low if we came in. So we'll see how that transpires. And then, quickly, on the chart. Now, there will be no video tomorrow morning. I have an appointment. I hope to be back for the opening, but no guarantee. There'll definitely be a video tomorrow night where I recap the day and the week in all 3 of these indices. So the weekly is still up. You know, inside week up has been pretty miserable, right? We took it out one day and closed below it, and we haven't seen it since. So it's been pretty much a failure. The daily is now balanced. That's a great little, look at that little nice hammer on the daily. But even though we took out yesterday's high and it's an outside day up, to me it's a 4-day balance. Monday's low is the low of it. Tuesday's high is the high of it. So what are we going to do in this 4-day balance tomorrow with expiration? All remains to be seen. Again, volume only 49 million. We'll do in the low 50s, which is better than the last couple of days. But the volume still stinks considering the price moves we had this morning. I hope you had a good day trading. Thanks for the likes. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak. We won't speak prior to the opening tomorrow. We'll speak tomorrow after the close and recap everything. Good night, all.